Hey guys, it's Aaliyah Soup Watkins here, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about credit, how to build it, and how it's going to affect your life. Now, from what I've come to understand from talking to people of my age, older than me, and even younger than me, is that I don't think that we are correctly educated on credit from the get-go. I think that a lot of us aren't typically aware of how much credit is used in our daily lives and how much it actually affects what we do and how people see us. And so I'm hoping to be here to teach you guys, shed some light on some of that. Credit is really easy to understand once you understand it, okay? So you need to realize credit is just an arrangement that allows for consumers, so us as people, to buy goods and things now and pay for it later. The keywords there being now and later. So they're going to loan you money so that you can pay for whatever you want to do. But you have to pay the bank back eventually. That is what you have to keep in mind. Eventually, you have to pay the bank back. So the biggest thing here, in a short amount of time, is that you need to calculate how much you can afford to borrow so that you can afford to pay it back. That's going to be a really big thing with credit, all right? As far as building credit goes, you can do that in about 4 easy steps. Okay, so I have a slide here that I'm going to show up to you guys. Step 1 here is going to be applying for a credit card. Now, there are 2 separate types of credit cards that you can apply for. Both can be used for whatever you want to use, all right? You can apply for an unsecured credit card or a secured credit card. Most people who are just starting out with building credit, you're going to use an unsecured credit card, which means that you're going to have to put a down payment down so that the bank doesn't have to put all of their trust in you. It's kind of like a safety net for them. So you're basically putting money into an account, and then you're going to be paying yourself back and taking money back. It's kind of like with yourself compared to doing it with a bank, which is a little bit more risky for them, which is not as risky for you. It's more risky for them. It's going to affect your credit no matter what, all right? Now, a secured credit card will be when the bank approves you, and they just give you money, and then they're trusting you to just pay it back, all right? So you'll get approved for one of the two, and then you're going to Step 2 here is establishing consistency, all right? So when I say establish consistency, that means you're making payments on time every time. You're going to spend what you want to spend every month. You're going to bring it back. You're going to bring that money back. You're going to pay them back. And then, ta-da, you establish consistency. That right there is going to be what's going to start bringing up your credit when you use the credit card to do that, all right? Now, eventually, you can go to Step 3. Step 3 here is upgrading. When you go to upgrade your credit card after a couple months, let's say 6 months to a year, you can go back. If you have an unsecured credit card and you've established consistency, they will upgrade you to a secured credit card, give you a higher credit limit. And then if you already have a secured credit card, they could just upgrade you to a higher credit limit. This means you are able to show the bank even more and that you can be trusted, which in turn will put your credit up. Now, using a credit card isn't the only way, okay? I know a lot of us are like, credit cards, I don't know if I trust myself. I was one of those. There are other ways to do that. You can auto pay your bills and then just pay your bills, pay your credit card every month, so you're only paying one thing, right? But don't spend it on anything else. You can do student loans, if any of us have student loans, which I'm sure some of us do. Paying off your student loans consistently and accurately actually boosts your credit, all right? You can do credit builder loans where you take out a loan specifically to build your credit. This is a really easy and fast way for people who are like, oh, let's start doing this now, all right? This is really easy. Or you could do authorized user status loans, which I'll be talking about momentarily. I just want to reiterate the importance right now of making your payments on time. Kim Porter from the U.S. News said that one of the biggest things lenders look at is that you have a history of paying your debt back on time. That is one of the key things here to remember. And like everywhere I've looked, everyone I've talked to, that's the biggest thing about building credit is making your payments on time. All right, so if I'm going to go and I'm going to talk about authorized user status for some of you who are like, what is that? So basically, authorized user status is when you attach your name to someone else's credit card, which could be really beneficial for you, right? If they have great credit and they're making their payments every time and their credit is all the way up here at like the 800 range, that'll boost your credit within a couple months straight to that, all right? But it also has the risk of tanking it just as much. Credit Karma says that this is one of the best ways for teenagers to build their credit if they attach it to their parents' credit, assuming that they have good credit, all right? So this is a good way for, like, if you're thinking about having kids, you can even think about doing that for them so that they don't have to be just thrown into the world the way that a lot of us were, all right? The biggest thing also that I want to talk to you guys about is how much credit affects your personal relationships, and I don't think a lot of people notice, and there's actually been research done, and Debbie Carlson from the Chicago Tribune found research done from 2015 by the Federal Bureau of Credit saying that people who have higher credit actually end up having longer relationships, and people who have worse credit end up having relationships that typically don't go past 5 years. And that right there could show to you just how much credit really affects your personal relationships. And I think that that's something that people need to keep in mind in the back of their head. Like, this could affect how people see me. So in all of that to say, I'm really hoping that I covered a lot. I know I went through it kind of fast, but I hope that you gained some knowledge about things. I hope I was able to make a couple things clearer, and that you are walking away from this having a little bit more knowledge about credit and feel a little bit more comfortable continuing on to build credit. So, thank you.